How's it going, YouTube? We're back! Yo, man, I know. I said I was gonna try to upload every day in June. But unfortunately, man, an unexpected vacation happened. Your boy had to go on vacation. I had to leave my setup. Well, I didn't leave my laptop, or my camera, but I did leave my microphone and my green screen. But in the house I was staying in for vacation, there wasn't a good enough setup for me to record. So, man, I had to settle with, you know what, giving up on my promise. But I'm going to try to upload as much as I can for the rest of the year, man. So, hopefully it's every single day. I'm trying to see where I get, you feel me, uploading every single day. But how's it going, YouTube? We're back. And guess who else is back? Jimmy High Roller, man. We got some Jimmy High Roller to react to. We got some Jared McCain to react to tomorrow, and we also have a meme compilation. Also, July 31st is 2K25's trailer. So, say I already got things planned out for the next 4 days. Let's go. Jimmy High Roller. This is the only way to settle this debate. LeBron and Jordan in the thumbnail. I can't believe this debate is still going on after all these years. Let's see what Jimmy High Roller has to say.
Is useless, but it's also really fun. Every NBA fan at some point has created their own ranking. It's like our official pastime at this point. And with a game as data-driven and awards and accomplishments as absolute as the NBA has, you'd think ranking players would be a fairly simple task. But despite the countless efforts to make a flawless, coherent all-time ranking of NBA players, no one can seem to get it quite right.
Facts, because bias. A lot of people are biased, you feel me? In my personal opinion, I think the top 5 point guards of all time are Magic Johnson, Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, and then Chris Paul and John Stockton are mixed in there. Honestly, I might even have Steve Nash over Chris Paul. I don't think I got Chris Paul in my top 5.
Some players rank.
I don't know. I gotta rethink that. Yo, should I drop a top 100 players soon? I mean, that's gonna take a long time to like really do, but you feel me?
Others too low, some not even ranked at all. Make any of these mistakes and your ranking will immediately get dismissed. The latest attempt of this fleeting endeavor came last week from Bleacher Report when they released their top 100 NBA players ever.
Nah, Bleacher Report's top 100 players was actually like crazy, dog. It was actually insane. Let's go ahead and see if I can see this real quick. Switch. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Let's see. Bleacher Report top 100 players. Let's see, because this was actually crazy, dog. Let's see. Top 100 players of all time. This is actually crazy. I'm going to name out all of the flaws, bro, because this is crazy right here, man. Let's see. Regular. This is crazy. So, all right, we got Bleacher Report's top 100 players of all time. All right, let's see. Artist Gilmore at 100. Cool. I'm just gonna point out the most obvious things that are wrong. There are a lot of players over Klay Thompson that should not be over Klay Thompson. I'm just gonna say that. Same with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is down here at 93, which is really insane to me. Can I not scroll, please? Thank you. Or is this gonna be faster? Yeah, Jason Tatum that low is crazy. There's a lot of players over these guys. Like do you guys have Draymond over Klay Thompson of all time? I feel like they're really close, but I got Klay just a little bit higher. Butler. I think Butler might be just a little too low. Like, you got Grant Hill over like Tatum, bro. I feel like Tatum should be higher, definitely, man. But I'm not going to go too deep into this because this is obviously just like, okay, they're putting things. Like, they're just putting things. Like, they had Damian Lillard over Kyrie Irving, by the way. Like, I feel like Embiid should be just a little bit. Like, they had Damian Lillard. Seriously, Damian Lillard over Kyrie Irving. What has Damian Lillard won? Absolutely nothing. And I can't believe they had Carmelo Anthony this low, man. He should be in the top 20. Look at Melo, man. Like, bro. They're missing a lot of players from this list. Cause where's Wembanyama? Where is Jared McCain at, bro? Like, and then you got Anthony this low. I think Doncic and Russ are very close together. Like, why is Westbrook this low? Where is he even at? Why is he this low, bro? Like, and then you have Chris Paul 20 spots ahead of him. Like, that's crazy. Shut up. Walt Frazier is fine. I don't have Patrick Ewing over Walt Frazier of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I think Walt Frazier is the greatest Knickerbocker of all time. Big Knickerbocker. And you got Allen Iverson like 7 spots ahead of Kyrie, bro. This is insane, bro. Steve Nash over Westbrook, bro. Harden shouldn't be that low, man. Like, bro, Chris Paul is not that many spots ahead of Westbrook. If anything, Westbrook is this many spots ahead of Chris Paul. Like, bro. Scottie Pippen ain't that high, bro. Barkley ain't that high. Maybe just a little lower. Antetokounmpo's a little too low. Karl Malone's a little too high. Same with Moses Malone. Robinson's a little too high. Garnett's a little too low. West a little too low. Robertson is way too high, bro. I forgot about this. This is insane to me. Wow. Like, there's not even footage of Oscar Robertson out there, man. Bro. Durantula. Like, bro. Oh, and then look at this. Like, I don't think Kobe is a top 5 player of all time. If anything, he's number 8. But you put him at 11. Not even in the top 10. But guess who's right above him? Oh! Like, bro, what is this list? Do you guys really think Stephen Curry is above Kobe Bryant of all time? Like, really, bro? Like, y'all made my green screen fall, bro. This is insane, bro. Stephen Curry over Kobe Bryant is an insanity. It's a monstrosity to me, man. Bro. This is disgusting, bro. Bill Russell's a little too high, man. I mean, I guess the rest of the list is somewhat valid, even though LeBron's supposed to be number 1. But, like, this is genuinely just a horrible list, man. Anyway, let's get back to the video, because...
A ranking that seemed relatively good, but was met with an onslaught of criticism. Like everyone else that made an attempt before them, this list was not accurate. Not good enough. Why is it so difficult to make an all-time ranking that we can all agree on? I mean, we all have our own opinion, our own personal bias. Is it even possible to make such a list? And if we could, how would we even create it? Well, believe it or not, there is a method that we can use to rank every player in NBA history with shockingly good accuracy. It doesn't use any numbers or data, no formulas or advanced metrics. It is a method way simpler than you would ever think, and yet manages to get results with nearly 100% accuracy. Even crazier, we actually use this method all the time.
Jimmy High Roller. All right, add.
Today's putting my ticket 10. Click the That's promo code. Last week, Bleacher Report released their top 100 NBA players ever list, and to absolutely no one's surprise, people were not happy about it. Among some,
it was horrible, absolutely horrible, Jimmy. This was a horrible list, absolutely horrible.
Glaring complaints about Bleacher Report's list include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. SGA, bro, SGA should have been at least top 90. If you put Jason Tatum top 90, SGA should definitely be top 90.
MVP.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Any MVP. Was Derrick Rose in there? Was Derrick Rose in there? Any MVP not in the top 100 of all time is actually crazy, bro. Actually, I'm not going to say every MVP. But, bro, do you not realize Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, bro? He won an MVP, a Finals MVP, a championship, bro. All in the same season, averaging dang near prime Harden stats, man. Like, this is crazy, bro. I don't care how young he is. He's not that far off from Jason Tatum in age. Like, bro, that's crazy.
MVP and champion not even making the list. Jason Tatum landing at 93. John Stockton ranked ahead of players like Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard. And of course, Kobe Bryant falling outside of the top 10. Despite
that's crazy,
staff
bro.
of NBA experts, writers, and editors, the results of this comprehensive ranking only lets people confused and annoyed. Ranking players should not be this difficult, and yet it is. But to understand why it's so difficult, we first need to understand why every ranking, no matter how thought out it is, how logical the criteria is, how much data was used, always falls short. One popular approach that some fans and experts have taken over the years is the formula method. Create a point-based system and apply those points to various factors like career stats, accolades, and impact to make an objectively accurate ranking. A method that has been tested countless times with varying levels of success. Last year, John Hollinger, longtime NBA analyst and a man credited with creating some of the first advanced NBA statistics, created a formula to determine his all-time top 100 list. His criteria being a point-based system that put varying levels of weight into factors like MVP shares, finals MVPs, win shares, and career box plus minus. A formula that resulted in LeBron as the GOAT, Jordan second, Kareem third, Duncan fourth, and Karl Malone 5th all time. This list also features Harden at 13, Hakeem at 19, Steph all the way down at 27, and Isaiah Thomas at 65.
Yeah, man, that method ain't working, I'm not gonna lie.
This Reddit user went through the trouble of creating an entire model from scratch to achieve the goal of, as he put it, quantifying careers using a formula that combines accolades with simple advanced stats while compensating for era and benchmarking, plus adjusting the weights of the formula against approximate expected rankings using least squared regression. In other words, he used a whole lot of stats and accolades, made some applicable adjustments, and put together an all-time top 100 ranking. The results came in, and people hated it. The glaring flaw in this method, as well as every other method that attempts to be completely objective in its approach, is that it's not objective. Even concrete things like stats and awards will inevitably have some sort of weight or value attached to them based partially off of opinion. What is a championship worth, and how do you factor it in? Should there be an era tax on players who played half a century ago? If there is, when does it no longer apply? The 80s? 90s? Is peak more important than longevity, or is it the other way around? Even awards themselves, like MVPs and DPOYs, are voted on by people with their own personal bias.
Facts.
Creating some sort of formula involves...
Oh yeah, that is facts though, bruh. I feel like Jokic was snubbed this year and maybe, just maybe snubbed in 2023. Just maybe. But, yeah, man, like, bro, if you think about it, Brown was the Finals MVP last year should tell you all you need to know. I don't care how inconsistent Jason Tatum was last year. Jaylen Brown did not deserve, like, he got the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, cool. He got the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, cool. It's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Who really cares? We care about the Finals MVP. He did not deserve that freaking Finals MVP, man. Not at all, bro. That was insane to me. That was really insane to me. I can't believe it's been a year since that already. Oh, y'all can see me. I'm fine.
Attributing value to all of these things, but without any impartial method of weighing all of these factors without injecting some sort of personal bias, the pursuit of creating a perfectly accurate ranking becomes virtually impossible. So, what if we just remove the...
It is impossible, because you got to think, like, there's, like, hundreds of millions of people that watch the NBA, and that's hundreds of millions of minds and different bias and opinions that people won't say, okay, this is a perfect list. This is an absolute perfect list because some system said it was. And plus, like Jimmy just said, you know, people vote on MVPs and stuff like that and awards and stuff. So it's not gonna be accurate.
Personal bias. What if we
There's no such thing as a perfect list. It's all opinion based.
strictly use data and numbers, two important factors that have no bias, to make a completely accurate and nonpartisan all-time ranking? Well, because the rankings get really weird really fast. For example, box plus...
Because people can say, you know, I'm not going to...
Minus has Nikola Jokic as far and away the best player of all time. It also has Luka Doncic 4th, David Robinson 6th, and Tim Duncan 19th. But in the right hands and with enough data, and when used in conjunction with one another, a purely data-driven approach could lead us in the right direction. And this is what Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball did back in 2017 when he created his top 40 list. As Ben says when describing his methodology, I won't attempt to balance Kobe's championships with Shaq, nor do I care about accolades like all-star teams or the number of Hall of Fame teammates someone played with. I also don't care about how many rings a player won. The very thing I'm trying to tease out is who provided the most lift. Instead of trying to assign value to things like rings and MVPs, Ben's list ranks players based on who provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning a championship over the course of their career. Ben's specific method and reasoning is probably the best out there when it comes to seeking an objective ranking, using the best advanced metrics available and using them logically to find the most accurate conclusion. The results of this experiment were eventually updated in 2022 and are generally accepted as a really solid list without the outliers or massive holes that other lists have. The only problem is, this is not an all-time player ranking. As Ben stated, this list is a player evaluation, not necessarily a ranking of the greatest players of all time. And it's
written on December 11, 2017. That was my 7th birthday.
Evaluating how good these players were, their abilities, and their effectiveness.
I know. I'm a youngin'. I'm also starting high school in a couple weeks. In case y'all care.
Using those abilities, not how great they were or what they accomplished. A great exercise in determining which players had the largest impact on the court, but not the best method in determining how that impact actually translated to tangible success. For example, this method is providing evidence that Karl Malone had a larger statistical impact than Stephen Curry over the course of his career, but I'm not sure if there's a single human being on planet Earth that would argue Karl Malone is greater than Steph is. Using purely statistics and data to rank players removes valuable context that certainly matters when evaluating how great they were throughout their career. However, allowing awards and achievements to partially dictate rankings will inherently skew the results due to personal bias and variance of opinion. So, looking at it through either of these lenses...
That's literally what I'm saying that's literally what I said at the start of the video. Biased! People are biased. What'd I say? Oh, I think I said people are biased. Biased. They ruin rankings. Bias them.
Will lead you to inaccurate results. But
I'm gonna try to stop pausing more.
At this through the wrong lens altogether.
Damn, why am I cheering so low?
Are going to be biased. It's the very nature of being a fan. My team's great, and they can do no wrong. So if we need to factor everything in, but we cannot do that without inserting some sort of bias, what if instead of trying to remove all bias from the equation, we factor this bias into the equation by asking fans what it is.
Bro, who are these guys trying to be Knicks fans? Bro, I swear, man, the NBA be on. Bro, NBA fan bases, bro. Just be original, okay? It's not that hard to be original. You'll never be like the streets of Times Square. You feel me? You're not going to. Just stop. Just stop. Okay? Every fan base needs their own thing. Let New York have their what's it called? Side talk. Let New York have their side talk. Stop trying to be like New York. I'm just saying. I mean, clearly, I just seen the Pacers.
we cannot do that without
the Suns, the Cavaliers
inserting
trying to be Knicks fans. Also, don't forget last year Celtics fans. You were trying to
some
be Knicks fans.
sort of bias.
I
What if
remember
instead
the
of trying
clip.
to remove all bias from the equation, we factor this bias into the equation by asking fans what it is they value most when ranking
Spurs, bro. The Spurs haven't been in the playoffs since 2016.
players. If the accuracy of the rankings is
Bulls fans now, bro. Chicago hasn't won a championship since 1996. 98.
determined by the fans, then so should the criteria.
Thunder fans?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what this Reddit user did. Back in 2020, an NBA fan on Reddit took it upon himself to survey other NBA fans, 600.
Bro, we was doing anything in 2020, I'm not gonna lie.
162 of them to be exact, on not just what's important to them in terms of greatness, but even what kind of fan they are. Among some of the questions asked were, how long have you been watching the NBA for? The most popular answer was 6 to 9 years. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of the NBA are you? Over 80% of the results being at least an 8 out of 10. But here's where things get interesting. One of the questions asked was, what do you think is more important in a player's career? Team success or individual success? 52% of voters said team success and 48% said individual success.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to be on the individual success. Because if you wanna go team success, then you might as well rank the greatest teams of all time. And I'm not talking about like individual seasons, I'm talking about, just in general. But I feel like rings don't matter as much in ranking individual players. I think skill set and a little bit of accolades matters. Because honestly, I can see why you say team success matters. Because Michael Jordan is good, but if Michael Jordan didn't win 6 NBA championships, he wouldn't even really be relevant enough to be in the top 5, not even top 10 of all time. Like who's the worst player? Maybe Harden to not win a ring, but like who's the highest player? Who's the highest ranked player to not win a championship? Maybe Malone or Barkley. If Barkley won 6 championships, he'd definitely be in top 10 of all time, not top 7 of all time debate, man. Nah, definitely top 8. So I agree on some part that team success matters, but I think individual success matters more because then again, Michael Jordan could be really sucky but win 6 championships. You can't just rank him, you feel me, like in the top 100.
Almost an even 50-50 split between NBA fans in response to a very important question with 2 very different answers. Even more revealing, voters were asked what are the top 3 most important measures when evaluating who the greatest of all time is. The number 1 answer? Career stats, followed by number of championships, number of regular season MVPs, total win shares, and career advanced statistics. The near 50-50 split between the importance of team success versus individual success visible in the almost even voting split between career stats and number of championships. One person can make their rankings based on how good a player was, meanwhile another person could make their rankings based on how much success.
Honestly, I think it should specify more what it means by team success though. Like, do you mean that what does that even mean? Now that I think about it, like you kinda gotta be more specific about that. Unless I'm just slow. Oh yeah, I'm slow. Okay, I'm slow. I get it now. I understand it now. Right.
Player had 2 completely different criterias. So how exactly can we make a player ranking that is agreed upon if we can't even agree on what actually matters, or at least what matters most? No matter what approach you take, no matter how much personal bias or opinion you try to take out of it, the results will always end up skewed in some sort of direction. There's just too many factors, difference in opinion, difference in what matters most from fan to fan. But there is one way, one method that has been proven to be the best way to get to an accurate conclusion about things otherwise not agreed upon. What is this scientifically backed method? It's the exact one Bleacher Report used. Ask people.
Now Rockets fans, bro, seriously? What are y'all hyped about? Making the playoffs?
conclusion about things
Oh, that's not even Wimby. I'm tripping.
otherwise
Maybe I need my glasses on.
not agreed upon. What is this scientifically backed method? It's the
Yeah, like I said, Boston fan.
exact
Man.
one. Bleacher Report
Is that Memphis? Magic?
used.
Bro,
Ask
every NBA fan base is trying to be like this, bro. This is
Have
crazy.
you ever seen the show Who
What's
Wants
next,
to Be a
Hornets
Millionaire?
fans? When they make the plane?
It was a game show where contestants would answer a series of multiple choice questions, with each correct answer winning them more money and progressively getting more difficult until the eventual $1 million question. Now, this game show would feature one sole contestant at a time who had to answer these questions by themselves. However, each contestant was granted what were called lifelines, tools the contestant could use to help them answer difficult questions. These 3 lifelines were 50-50, eliminate 2 of the 4 options in a multiple choice question, leaving the contestant with a 50% chance of getting the right answer. Phone a friend, where the contestant could call a friend live on the show for help. And the third one was Ask the Audience, where each member of the audience would vote on what they thought was the correct answer to any given question. All of these lifelines were valuable, but one of them in particular resulted in the correct answer far more than the others. The 50-50 lifeline, as the name suggests, got contestants to the correct answer about 50% of the time. Phoning a friend resulted in contestants getting the correct answer 66% of the time. But asking the audience resulted in the correct answer 92% of the time. By far, the most accurate method of coming to the correct answer for any question in the show's history.
So what's
and
your
this
point?
is a demonstration of a concept known as the wisdom of the crowd, an idea that refers to the collective judgment of a group of people often being more accurate than the judgment of any single individual, even an expert. And it is an incredibly accurate method of arriving on the correct
Okay, so now I see. And by the way, both LA fan bases are copying the Knicks now. This is pathetic. But I understand now. So basically, we need to ask every single NBA fan, ranking 1 through 100, who's the first greatest player of all time? Who's the second? Who's the third? Who's the fourth? So on and so on until we get to 100. Then we're going to have the perfect ranking.
answer to any logical question. In 2011, the BBC network put this concept to the test by filling a jar with jelly beans and asking 160 contestants how many jelly beans they thought were in the jar. The answers were absolutely insane, ranging from 500 to 50,000, and yet somehow their collective average was unbelievably close to the actual number. After conducting their experiment, it was revealed that there were exactly 4,510 jelly beans in the jar. The
Bro, 50,000 was crazy, bro. Who guessed 50,000?
average guess among all 160 participants, 4,515. Despite their variance in answers, on average, the participants were able to get within 99.9% of the correct answer. By aggregating the opinions or estimates of many individuals, the errors and biases of individual judgment tend to cancel each other out, leading to a
Learn something
collective
new every day.
result that is closer to the truth. And in possibly the most roundabout way I could conjure up, I think this same exact concept can be applied to ranking NBA players on an all-time list. Regardless of what the individuals value most and our own personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances are
Bro,
you'll more
Nuggets fans now, bro. Blazers fans.
most and
Copying the wave, bro. We already knew Thunder fans did it.
NBA
This is
players
crazy.
on an all-time list. Regardless of what
Are these Hawks? No.
the
That's Rockets fans. Yeah,
individuals
Rockets
value
again.
most and our
Thunder
own
again.
personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances
Nuggets
are
fans. I can't
you'll
even tell.
more than likely end up
Blazers
at an accurate
fans.
result.
Bro.
Better than strictly using stat-based metrics, better than the eye test, or a combination of multiple factors.
Is that
Simply
Raptors fans, bro? They copying us now, bro? Like, just be yourselves, man.
asking people who the greatest players of all time are will show you
Warriors fans, bro. Look. Wizards fans. The only fan base we haven't seen is New Orleans and
exactly
Charlotte and Atlanta, I think, bro. Speaking of Atlanta,
who
bro.
the greatest players of all time are. And evidence of this can be found within the results of Bleacher
Philadelphia fans, bro.
Report's ranking. Someone ranked Kobe Bryant 18th all time. Their personal top 100 ranking is probably a little wacky. But this vote inadvertently balances out someone else who voted Kobe 4th all time. Same goes for every single player on this list. Someone had Jokic
So 11 range, I guess. So maybe Bleacher Report was right.
12th all time. Another voter had him 28th, and everyone else had him somewhere in between. The range of votes for Charles Barkley are probably the largest of any player on this list, with one vote for him as the 18th greatest player, and another with him as the 74th greatest
Dang!
player. With
74?
individual rankings like this, you'd think the final result would be a mess.
What about
and
Westbrook?
yet Barkley ended up being ranked 25th all time, right about where he should be. Can we make a completely accurate ranking of the greatest NBA players ever? Well, we can get really close. In terms of how we would create it and what it would look like, you're looking at it. This isn't a matter of opinion, it is a statistical principle. As Bleacher Report put it when describing their methodology, it's an impossible task, especially when confronted with the reality of comparing players from different eras. Stats help, but calculators won't ever figure all of this out. But asking enough people just might.
Look at all those fan bases, man. Copying the Knicks. Anyway. Wow. So Bleacher Report was right.